Morning, third grade. I'm back to bring you Lulu, and we are on chapter 13. All right, here we go. Chapter 13. It wasn't too much later that Lulu could see that she was nearly out of the forest. She was happy that soon she would be with her mom and her dad. But along with feeling happy, she was also feeling sad when she thought of the Brontosaurus she'd left behind. As a matter of fact, she pictured the poor, lonely dinosaur so clearly in her mind that it almost seemed he was standing there, just outside of the forest, waiting for her. And he was! So here's our forest. There's Lulu. We're at the edge of the forest. Look who's standing in the shadows. Was Lulu shocked? You bet. What? She asked. Are you doing here, Mr. B? I found a shortcut, the Brontosaurus replied. Lulu smiled a soft, sweet smile, then shook her head and sighed. And then she said, and even though I'm the person writing the story, I truly don't know why she's saying it in rhyme. Please try to understand, Mr. B, that I cannot be your pet, even though you're the nicest Brontosaurus I've ever met. And if you take me away with you, I'll keep on running back home every chance that I get. Not a bad rhyme, though, and that last line's a little lumpy. I already figured out that while I was waiting for you, the Brontosaurus told Lulu, I do understand that you can't be my pet, but please understand that I can't be your pet either. Well, Lulu understood, and the Brontosaurus understood. It seemed there was only one thing left to do. So they stood there quietly, looking at each other for a moment, and then they didn't. They run away? Get in a fight? The Brontosaurus bent his long neck till his face was close to Lulu's. He kissed her gently on the cheek and said, Happy birthday, little pet, and goodbye. Lulu put her arms around the Brontosaurus's neck. She kissed him gently on his nose and said, Don't be too lonely, Mr. B, and goodbye. Look at his sweet little eyes. Then she slowly walked down the road that would take her home. Then he slowly walked down the road that would take him home. And although Lulu and the Brontosaurus remembered each other forever, they never ever saw each other again. That brings me to the maybe end. That's interesting. Let's see what it says. Chapter 13, again. Wait, I'm really not all that sure about this ending. It may be a little too mushy, a little too sad, but since I'm the person writing the story, I'm writing another ending, and you can decide which one you'd rather have. Well, Lulu understood, and the Brontosaurus understood that neither of them could be the other's pet. But why should that mean that they had to say goodbye? Come with me and I'll give you a piece of my birthday cake, said Lulu. I'd like that, the dinosaur said. May I give you a ride? And Lulu arrived at her house riding happily on the back of the Brontosaurus. When her mom and her dad heard the noise of a dinosaur clumping into their yard, they remembered Lulu and they remembered her birthday. Lucky for all, her cake had already been made. Don't worry, he isn't my pet, Lulu said. He's only going to stay here for a piece of cake and a glass of lemonade. But he's kind of lonely. He's kind of a lonely guy. And I would like to invite him back for Thanksgiving dinner. So there she is, riding on his back. There's her house. There's her parents, see him? From that time on, the Brontosaurus came to Lulu's house for her birthday, Thanksgiving, and the 4th of July. And sometimes she visited his house, though since she didn't like eating leaves, she always brought a suitcase of pickle sandwiches. On one very special birthday, she not only invited her friend the Brontosaurus, who else did she invite? But also the snake and the tiger and the bear. And the Brontosaurus noticed that whenever Lulu asked anyone for anything, she always said, What do you think? Please. That brings me to the end, maybe. Gotta wait and see what's gonna happen next. Bye, guys.